business down there?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yep.
You didn't take Southwest?
I connected with all the people that I've.
Welcome everyone.
Do you want to do swapping?
Thank you for coming today. We've got a really exciting program today. It's going to be with Garrison Fletcher, and he has a company that I don't really like the name of because I think he should go with his name, which is Garrison Fletcher. And for those of you that are familiar with Fletcher Hills and Fletcher Cove and Fletcher Parkway, yes, and lots of others, that's actually his grandparents that did that. And he has great-grandparents. He has had his Apex Marketing is the name of his company. And the thing that's really cool about Garrison is that he brings to the table not just graphic design, but he has a background in psychology. So he's able to really bring that to the forefront, as you'll see today. And I know he wants me to shut up because I'm giving away some of this stuff, but I got to tell you, he did a flyer for us for our new project, which is called the El Cajon Classic Cruise. And on that flyer, it entices people to go to the website. And because of that, the number of hits that we have had on the website have radically increased over what they have been in prior weeks and in prior years. So we're delighted to see it's really working well. So please pay attention, but at the same time we are videoing him so that it'll be available on the website. Don't feel like you have to take on every single note. I also want to let you know that Misha Tomlinson, who many of you know, is at the Urban Network Digital Summit, and that's a meeting with the big names in music for primarily around the Urban Network publication, which is the largest music news publication in the country. So if you ever want to take a look at that, it's urbannetworkdigital.com. And they're actually putting together radio and they're putting together TV, and they really help a lot of young artists come to fruition. And that's what this conference is all about, is it's helping the artists meet up with directors and promoters and that kind of thing. So that's where Misha is today. However, John Parker is here, so if you have any questions about for ABCs of financing, he'll be able to help you out with that. Okay, I think without any further ado, Garrison, are you ready? I normally like to do this like introduction thing, and I really push people to go to the limit, but Garrison said, no, that's my first slide. So
no, all I was saying was,
down.
I have a slide for you, so if you'd like to do it, I just, thought I'd welcome people and go from there. So if you'd like to do it, jump on in.
No, that's okay, you do it.
You want to hear about Lee?
All right, so first off, I want to thank everybody for coming. I know you took some time out of your day to come here and learn something, hopefully. That's my goal, is to teach you something. And even if it's just a different perspective. So I want to, in the spirit of the networking piece of this, is I wanted to go around and have everybody introduce themselves. And I put a couple things on here, for you to think about, because sometimes when somebody rattles it off, I know if I'm in a group and they're like, well, tell me these things, you forget what you're supposed to say, maybe, sort of thing. So I've added a lot of things, maybe more so than other groups, and so I'm going to ask you to just try and keep it brief, just kind of really quick and to the point. So why don't we start on the right side with this mouthful, sorry about that. Your name, your company, your USP, so your unique selling position. What your ask is, like, what's a perfect client for you? Again, really brief, I don't want to be the sort of thing. And then what do you hope to learn today, based on the title?
My name is Chris Holloway. I'm with Infrastructure Productions. We are a video production company that helps you tell your story, your unique story, to your clients. My specific ask is for like marketing people, advertising agencies. So if you know any of those, send them my way, or any companies that are looking to redo their website and get a video presence. And what do I hope to learn today? This is my first time here, so I hope to meet everybody and learn about you and what you do.
Okay. Awesome, thank you. So if we can, great job on everything. We can shorten the ask a little bit. Think of it as an elevator speech. It's like, what's your 1 minute? I'm looking for XYZ. I'm looking for the owner of Sony Productions in San Diego, regional manager, something like that. A tangible that somebody can, think in their brain, do I know that person or not? They may, but if you say, anybody that's breathing, their mind goes, who are you really looking for, right?
Right.
Okay, next.
My name is Jim Porter.
I help people eat ice cream. By that, I mean I help people digest their insurance program. By that, I mean I help people make smart decisions regarding their insurance policies. And my ask today is introduction to homeowner with motorcycle.
Great. Okay, awesome.
Hi. I'm Laura Bertinoli. I'm the managing director at CYT. It's Christian Youth Theater San Diego. We're here in El Cajon. Looking for people to come to our shows, support what we do, getting out there in the community, influencing families, helping out kids. Also, we have adult theater too, so people to go out on Mount Helix to see Lynn.
I was going to ask,
summer.
are they up and down Mount Helix?
So
That
exactly,
was put
this
up on my
summer, we
great-grandfather.
haven't been at Mount Helix for a while, we're out here this summer.
Oh,
Come
great.
see amazing live entertainment, support the arts in San Diego.
Awesome, thank you.
Me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm not going to stick to the script because
Great.
that's how I am.
Quicker is good.
My name's Kathy Blair. I'm going to tell a story courtesy of John Choicer over there. He knows a guy who has a flood restoration company, had his URL, his domain name is www all over his trucks and everything, got in a fight with his website designer. His website designer decided that he would redirect the customer's URL to, anybody? A porn site. So the guy's flood restoration, he's driving around with a link to a porn site on his trucks. So my slogan is Kathy Blair, Webcat Design. I will not direct your URL to a porn site. And I've had some really bad customers and I haven't done that to them.
Great. So I'm going to interject one more thing when we go through the introductions to be thinking about is, there's a lot of information to cover, and I set up some time at the back end for questions and answers. So the longer we go in the beginning, the less time we have for questions and answers about the topic. So, just keep that in mind. And I want to make sure that everybody has a chance to network. Hi.
Hi, my name is Lupita. I'm a speaker therapist and I represent the spot called Music for Difference. And I'm here to try to get more clients to come to see me.
Great.
And that's about it.
Awesome.
Thank you.
My name is Matt Halsey with the Negotiators Playbook. We help position salespeople communicate in a way that they can get more business they can handle without ever having to actually ask somebody to buy from them. My ask is just, I'm looking at really early in the startup, looking to help with publicizing the brand. And what I hope to learn today, I know a lot about branding, but I feel I'm going to learn a heck of a lot more.
All right, to clear up any confusion, Yoichi and I have agreed to change commercials for today. So for the next 30 seconds, I am Yoichi Kato, and I'm with Legal Shield. I help people save money, headache, and stress, and basically instill a sense of, what was it that I said? Instill a sense of peace of mind into your everyday life, set in one-on-one with me, and I can show you how to make your life less stressful.
Excellent.
Hi everyone, my name is Anique. I'm with Arbonne International. We have amazing skincare products, and today my specific ask is for people that still need Mother's Day gifts. It's not too late. We can still order your Mother's.
What if you're the mother?
If you're the mother,
You can flyer
yeah, exactly,
around
leave it at the
subtly
house. Or for your wife, if you have kids, anybody that you know that still needs a Mother's Day gift. I would love to talk to you.
Great.
My name is Jolynn. My company is Forget Me Not, individualized packing service while offering to sort, pack, unpack, and getting people organized. My unique selling proposition is to, if you want to save time, energy, and money, ask before is the best person to ask is like a person who's business owner, anyone who's on the move, families, anyone who needs to be reorganized. And what I hope to learn today is to continue exploring to be a businesswoman, and as I grow, my company will grow.
My name's Louis Nava. I am a Google certified photographer, meaning I work on Google Maps for Street View, and I help businesses increase their visibility between 30 to 60% within 30 days, and helping people stop living and dying by advertising.
Okay, John Mendoza, Home Wealth Financial. I have a unique selling proposition that I can help you get long-term care for free. Also be able to use your assets to pay for that long-term care. It's not a use or lose if you know anything about long-term care. People I'm looking for are seniors that need this product, and hope to learn today how to better position myself in whatever you do for a living.
All right.
My name is Jim DeMoe. I have my business is Keystone Business Solutions. And my unique selling proposition is I help business owners make better decisions and increase their revenue. A specific ask would be any business that needs a business plan or isn't creating the revenue that they hope to create. Any small business in any industry. What I hope to learn today is marketing stuff.
Okay.
I'm John Choicer from Anna Roday Designs, and our job is to make people happy. We've been doing it for over 35 years. We make people happy by making their homes more beautiful, more functional, safer, and worth more money. Where we can help us is by watching for somebody who's buying a house, and we can get it ready to rent, we can get it ready to move into, or we can get it ready to flip. All different kinds of jobs, different budgets, different materials. We are experts at that, so call San Diego's Finer Designer.
David Knoll. I have two companies that I represent. Ivy League Photography, and we're professional photographers. And our unique selling proposition is that quality photography is teamwork. We work with the client, and a good specific ask is somebody that wants to have a headshot that would communicate their personality when they're first viewed on their website. And Learn Today is about branding, and my passion is the Helen Knoll Foundation, nonprofit foundation for breast cancer prevention for women 18 to 40. And so it's a very unique positioning that we have. And the specific ask, if you know of a company that would be interested in teaming with us in the 18 to 40-year-old women, that's who we'd be able to partner with.
Great. Can I make a suggestion? So in the spirit of networking, you know, and everybody has an ask, like we talked a little bit about what is your unique selling position. What I might suggest you consider is to say something more like, who do you know that has a business that hates having their picture taken? That might trigger in somebody's mind, I have a friend, she hates having her picture taken, but she really needs pictures. And then you now have the solution. I can make her look good.
Okay.
So that way it's triggering in somebody's mind a specific person that comes to mind instead of who do you know that needs a picture? Well, everybody, but I don't think about it. But you may know over the years, you know, your friend Sally or you're at dinner, it's like, oh, I just hate having my picture taken, but I need to get these for my brochure. Oh, I know a guy that can help you because he does really good at fixing people that don't think they can take a good picture. Just a thought.
Okay, good thought.
Hi, my name is Susan Pacori. My company name is Today's HOA Consulting and Business Services. And I'm targeting small homeowners associations throughout San Diego that need help. They need bookkeeping services, administrative services. So a perfect referral would be an HOA that is in trouble. And I hope to learn how to market my business and just launch it and be successful.
Great.
Thanks.
Art Khalil, iTex Barter. I'm looking for stuff to trade. One man's junk is another man's treasure. What do you got to trade? Thanks.
I'm Tom Wilson. I represent AM Productions and also American Combat Veterans of War. The AM Productions, kind of a one-stop shop for on-hold messages and equipment for any business, whether you've got a single line or 100 lines. I can get you a message, help you put the script together, install the equipment, get background music so you can voice about your business when somebody is on hold for a minute or whatever it is. Everybody goes on hold, we'll let them know what makes you unique in your business. American Combat Veterans of War is a group that is helping combat veterans deal with their stress triggers and post-traumatic stress without using medications and things like that. We're also working with the Vista Jail and a group of veterans, so anybody who wants to volunteer and help or donate money to help prevent combat stress with veterans, let me know.
Great.
My name's Chet Bruce, and I'm the publisher of San Diego Professional Journal. And my unique selling position is that I can take anybody that's within a Me Too business, primarily professionals, and get you referred by ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox affiliates, and many news organizations. My specific ask today is I need a chiropractor that I can interview and get published, and I want to talk to a videographer.
Great.
Hi, I'm Stephanie, also known as Peaches. I'm an author and a poet, and these are two of my books. One is love poetry, one is humorous, and what I hope to learn here, or down the line, I would love to find out how to promote my books.
Great. All right, well, welcome everybody. And we got one more. We're just doing introductions. You made it right under the wire.
Hello.
Hi there.
That's it?
So if you will.
Tell us who you are.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah, my name is Ramon. I'm Mr. PC Man SD. I just opened up a store last Friday. I got the keys out in La Mesa. I've been fixing computers for the last 3 years, and I enjoy playing guitar.
Excellent. All right, great. So thank you for the introductions. So here we are. So you may be wondering, who is this guy? Why is he in front of the room? What makes him special? You know, a few things like that. So I'll just give you a little bit. You know, I got a little bit of an introduction. You know, I am a Fletcher. My name is Garrison Fletcher. I grew up in Fletcher Hills. It's nice to be back into East County. So what he's referring to is he's encouraging me to get rid of Apex Typing Graphics and turn it into Fletcher Graphics because I'm now back in East County. So that was the reference point. I've been working on my own for 24 years. I started in 1990 when the buzzwords were desktop publishing and carpal tunnel syndrome. I thought, why do I want to wreck my wrist at 12 bucks an hour when I could be more creative and have some fun? So I'm literally self-taught. I've never taken any design classes, things like that. But this is all things that I've learned over the 24 years. You know, my background, as you mentioned, is industrial organizational psychology. So what I bring to the table with all of my design clients is I pretty much don't give them what they ask for. I give them what they need. And so it's my job to sit and listen and find out what their need is, so I can figure out a way to present the materials to their audience so that it gets heard, right? Okay, make sense? All right, so, you know, I threw in a little bit of it's not necessarily a joke, but it is true. I mean, it's kind of a funny thing for a graphic designer to be colorblind, right? So red-green colorblind, I learned about this when I was in high school. In science class, did you ever see the little, you know, round circles with all the little colored dots on it? You know, and the teacher would hold up the thing and go, can anybody see this? And, you know, what's a number in there? And I'm like, yeah, 37. They're like, what? You know, what was that all about? And there's two kinds, red, green, and blue, red. So if somebody says they're colorblind, it doesn't mean they only see black and white. It just means that certain colors may blend that they may not be able to tell. So for me personally, navy blue, black, dark green, dark brown, depending on the lighting and where it's at, some of those kind of tend to blend together. So just kind of a fun fact, if you will, that I thought I would throw out there so it's not, you know, surprise or whatever, just a little bit more about me, okay? So why are you here? Why did you get up and spend 2 hours of your time? You know, you figure you got here 11:30-ish, drove, parked, whatever. Why are you here? You know, threw up some ideas, just, you know, humorous again. But, you know, mainly what I wanted to do is to say, you know, are you investing the time? Sounds like you are. Hopefully this will be a good workshop for you, and you'll learn something from it, and we'll take some valuable information from there. So a little bit about how I operate. You know, I'm kind of a cut-to-the-chase sort of guy, you know, pretty no-nonsense. I generally speak what's on my mind. You know, hopefully I put it with a little bit of tact and a little bit of fun in there. But basically what I wanted to just let you know is I didn't go to school for branding. I didn't go to school for marketing. My background is psychology. What I'm sharing with you are things that I've seen and learned and heard and referenced that work for me and my clients that I think will help you guys in either working with other clients that you have or with yourself, how to position yourself. You know, what is branding, what is marketing, what is image, things like that. They all kind of get thrown together. And so, you know, there's a common message that I'll get to, but, you know, we got to get there by going through the branding and what is your image. So that's where we're starting. So does that all work for everybody? And hopefully we'll figure out what that missing component is. All right, so what is branding? It's a name, term, design, symbol, or any other feature that identifies one seller's product, makes it distinct. It's like, who are they? A branding is, it's an image. It's a, you know, oftentimes it's seen as a logo, but usually branding, the thing that makes it different is that it's not selling anything. It's merely, who are they? Nike. When you see Nike, are they selling you something? Or are they just saying, I represent good shoes and good wear and things of that nature, you know? So what is it, all right? So it's a symbolic construct. So who's that slogan for? Avis. Staples?
Oh,
Avis. Avis? Avis. Good job. Okay. What?
Advertising.
Right. So what I'm getting at with this is that you may know the logo, but do you know the slogan? And not that one is more important than the other, but it's more of their branding, and you've now learned who they are, right? So it's an example of branding. So KFC, what's our slogan?
Doesn't transfer.
What is it? All I remember is from the 70s.
So good.
They haven't done a
So
good
we don't
job with
remember that.
us.
Right. That's the one that they've been using up until about 4 years ago, and they switched it out. They wanted to switch it out. I don't think it's successful, but they were trying to switch it out because they thought that finger licking good sounded too greasy and messy and not healthy, and so good represents a much more healthful solution. So they went in and they are putting together different ways to fry their chicken and more health conscious ways sort of thing. And so they're afraid that if they kept with finger licking good, they're still promoting the grease and the yuckiness that goes along with that image. So personally, I think it's a mistake. However, just my opinion. All right, so Nike, great. All right, so the difference is marketing. What is marketing? Usually marketing is seen as the action of promoting or trying to sell something, right? So Nike, just as the logo by itself, is saying, okay, great, here I am. So you're basically buying credibility, right? So for all of you, what I'm hoping you're thinking is, how am I providing credibility with what I'm doing currently, all right? So that's the tangible that I'm hoping to get to everybody, all right? So it's the marketing is the side of saying, how are we trying to sell to somebody? How are we trying to promote our product? So it could be run faster, farther, stronger, Nike. Now they're trying to tell you that with their shoes, you can run faster, farther, stronger, right? So now you're selling them something as opposed to just saying Nike is a brand. So with that, they're marketing, and obviously they're using their logo and their tagline, but the reason they're doing that is so that you can connect the two and say, okay, you want to run faster, farther, stronger? Great. You already trust Nike. So isn't that who you would use? So in your business, what does your company look like, and what is your tagline? What are you telling people? Does that make sense? All right, your image. To me, this is the crux of it all, it's your image. Your product or service is not your company brand, and neither is your logo or your business card. Your brand is the image, is your personality. So to me, the way I see it is it's everything combined. It's not just your logo, it's not just your business card, it's all the pieces combined. It's all of the things that anybody might see. So to me, this is the image. Everything the customer might see. So how many of you have, a logo, a flyer, your letterhead, your business cards, all of your marketing materials, right? Some do, some don't. We could talk about a few different things. I have another slide for that, but so it's all the printed and all the printed and online communication, anything somebody sees, and then also all the nonverbal, verbal and nonverbal communication. Did you show up to the meeting on time? Can they trust you? Did you follow up when you said you were going to? Hey, I'll call you on Thursday by noon to let you know the status of this project. It's like, hey, I went and checked and your domain is available. I'd suggest you do this. It's, yeah, your flyers, I just checked from the printer and the project is on its way. It'll be shipped to me on Friday. Just want to give you a heads up. Sometimes you can communicate that depending on the customer. You might want to communicate that verbally, on the phone. Sometimes you might want to do that, with an email just to give them an update. Depends on if you have time or not. But just touching base with them is a really big thing. So to me, this whole big piece of, marketing and branding and image is really about saying, who are you? Does your customer know who you are? Do they know what you do? And do they like and trust you? To me, that's what, what I bring out of branding, as an image. And that's why I use the word image as opposed to branding or marketing. Because to me, it's a matter of, who are you and what are you selling? Or what are you promoting or what is your service? And then how can that person benefit, from utilizing that? So what is important? Do you do it yourself? Do you hire somebody? Do you go to Vistaprint? Do you buy that $99 logo software and say, I want to create it on my own? Do you go to 99 Designs? Some of you may not even know those things exist. Vistaprint, it's a great example. It's an awesome service, right? For a lot of people. Well, so that's a little of a concern. What you said is they all look the same. So that's a little bit of a concern. However, you know, for me as a designer, as a marketing person, my challenge with people that go to Vistaprint is a couple things. One is they see that $10 for 250 cards, you know, done, finished, they can design it themselves. Awesome, go for it, right? So that's an option. Now, I priced out a card for one of my clients from Vistaprint. They said, oh, I can get Vistaprint, why do you charge, you know, $65 for cards or $100 for cards or whatever I was doing for them? And I said, well, let me go and check, you know, and see what it is at Vistaprint. So I literally went through the Vistaprint, you know, checkout thing for the type of cards that I was going to design for them. Full color, 2 sides, 16-point cardstock, heavier cardstock, you know, rounded corners, you know, shipped within a month. Because if you go through Vistaprint, if you've ever used it, it's, you know, you can design online, you can then order them, but if you want it on heavier stock, it's an upcharge. If you want it printed on the back side, it's an upcharge. If you don't want their logo on the back, it's an upcharge. If you want it shipped within 3 weeks, it's an upcharge. If you want it shipped within 2 weeks, it's another upcharge. You know what I mean? So when we got down to it, it was a company, Vistaprint, as opposed to coming to me, and I think the difference was $7. I mean, it was just really, really crazy. Now, is it a great service for a lot of people? Yeah, if you're really on a budget and you need to, then by all means, you know, you'll find my corporate philosophy, I haven't shared it yet, is I don't care if you did it yourself as long as it doesn't look like you did it yourself. So I'm not here standing up saying you gotta hire me or anything like that. I'm just letting you know what I've seen and what works. Vistaprint, what I've noticed is a lot like Costco. You know, how many people have gone to Costco and bought something and then get in that false assumption that everything there is cheaper? And then you go to Office Depot and you find those, you know, file folders that are half the price at Office Depot versus something else. Similar with Vistaprint. What I've seen for many, many times is that Vistaprint, their business cards is their, what a lot of people might call their lost leader, get you in the door. Now, if you've designed a business card with one of their templates, and now you want a brochure, or now you want a flyer, or now you want a banner, you're stuck. You are forced to go to them if you want your image to match everything else that you've done. Okay? So it might be cheaper to begin with, but down the road, if you're looking this is something a little bit farther down the road, as something serious, you know, you might want to consider, you know, doing something else, you know, hiring somebody, go from there. So to me, with all of this, you know, you look at your logos and your flyers and your business cards and stuff like that, you know, as I said, are you schizophrenic with your message or is it crystal clear? So everybody, I'm assuming, knows what schizophrenic is. It's an unclear message. It's, you know, multiple different things, a coexistence, contradictory, things of that nature. So my desire is to encourage you, if you learn nothing else from this workshop, you know, or presentation, is to say, are my materials consistent? Is the message I'm putting out the same, whether that's colors or fonts or shape or size or anything across your business cards, to your flyers, to your web app, to your website, to all the above. Does that make sense? Okay. Again, consistency. Branding, marketing, and advertising are just vehicles to get your message out there. If you not provide a consistent image, you will spend a far greater amount of time and money in order to educate and convince customers of who you are and what you provide. Forgot I put the slide up, so I just spoke it all out before I got to the slide. So, anybody have any questions so far? Is it making sense? Are any light bulbs going off in your brain about, you know, your own marketing pieces? Maybe how you're presenting your image? Yeah.
I actually have a question. So there are a lot of people who don't put any pictures on their business cards, but there are a lot of people who do.
Right.
Have you seen any notable difference, we'll say, between actually putting a picture of your face on a business card versus not?
A good picture.
Depends on
A
your
good
face.
picture, exactly. Only if you get a good picture.
Well, I'm assuming, yeah, you get a good picture.
Well, and again, I'll preface from what I said back at the beginning is I can be kind of blunt, so please translate for me, and I don't mean any harm to anyone, you know, should they feel like that. But my kind of philosophy is that unless you really look like the dog police, you know, there's generally not a problem with putting a picture on the card. And I think depending on the industry that you're in, there's great value. You'll notice real estate agents did that, you know, from the get-go. It's like every real estate agent, I don't know of hardly any real estate agents that don't have their picture on their card, right? So it's generally a given. Why do they do that? They want to be remembered and seen, okay?
Because there's so much competition.
There's a lot of competition. There's a lot of competition. Yeah, does that help? Yeah, so I'd say generally speaking, there's not a reason why not to. There's a lot of people that have done marketing with it that say, you know, like the Safe Light glass repair guy. you know, that says, we're gonna send you a picture of the technician that's gonna come out and help you, so that when they show up, you know who it is. Right, so you don't have the wife at home that's sitting there repairing the glass, can you take care of this? And, you know, the guy off Hell's Angels comes to the door and says, hi, I'm here to fix your glass. You know, that you now have a representation. I've seen it very successful with, say, plumbing companies and, you know, home repair sort of thing. People going to someone's house. They now have an association, so when they show up, it's not a stranger. They don't have this, oh, who are you? Oh, okay, you're the plumber. Okay, great. They already now know who you are. And they can recognize you. You know, for instance, for some people in networking, it's a great added benefit because somebody may not remember you, remember your card, remember what you're doing, but when they see your face, they can go back and go, oh, I see that, yeah, that's what he does. So it's not a have to by any means. Yeah?
I might point out too that Rick Esquez, who's our LinkedIn,
Rick I, yeah.
Rick I, the LinkedIn guy, LinkedIn is for business, as
Right.
you know, and he says that on your LinkedIn page, you must have a professional picture.
Right.
And not a picture of you and your honey, not a picture of a baby picture, not a picture of your dog, that's all
Right.
for Facebook.
Right.
This is what it is you
Yeah.
should have a professional,
Yeah.
good picture of yourself, and to have your LinkedIn thing without a picture is bad.
Right, right, right. For me, a lot of times I'll make the note for people when they're talking about I'm going to go to Vista Print and I just need a few cards and I'm not sure whatever. And maybe it comes across a little too strong for people, but I often ask them, do you have a hobby or do you have a business? Right?
Yeah.
You know, some people have a hobby and that's great and awesome. Or are you attempting to make money out of it, and do you want it to have a consistent message and have something greater? So, yeah.
So how important would you say it is to have that personalized presence, like pictures, behind the scenes stuff that shows you or, you know, on your website, like just as part of your public image?
Oh, I think there's huge. There's no reason why not to. Some people back in the day, it was, do I need to do full color or do I need to do black and white and printing cards or raised ink or all these other things? There were a lot of limitations. Nowadays, most anybody, you know, even at home, could print off their card if they got a decent stock on their color, you know, inkjet and be okay. You know, it may not look as professional, but you could go somewhere and, you know, print out a sheet of 10 business cards, you know, laid out on a cardstock to Kinko's or something like that and have them cut. But on the web is malleable. It's instantly changeable. It doesn't cost you any more to have a picture versus not have a picture.
Yeah.
So for people to see who you are and get a familiarity with you, I think that's a huge benefit. Yeah. I mean, what you'll find is that, you know, people like and they work with people that they understand and they know and they kind of, you know, can relate to and they feel can relate to them. And because of that, the more you give them as your personality. I mean, that's why I threw in the colorblind. You know, you don't need to know that. Why do you need to know that? I was just sharing something that might be a little bit different that you might remember, right? Yes.
Okay, according to a study that was done 5 or 6 years ago, it was very predominant. When somebody goes to a website, the things that they are looking for is number 1, a telephone number, number 2, your business address, number 3, your office hours, and number 4, a picture of you.
Yep. Yep.
So
it's a tangible.
Put a picture on anything and everything.
Our job, my job as a designer, is to make things easy so that the person can take action, exactly. They can either rule you in. Think of a billboard. To me, all your marketing materials, you can think of it like a billboard. And you've heard the adage of a billboard, you have 3 seconds to make your impression, right? You're driving by, you have 3 seconds, you know? And the good news about that is on a billboard, at least on the road, is you have thousands of people coming by, you know? So if you catch 1 or 2 or 5 or 10 or hundreds, whatever, that's great. If you have a business card and people look at it and you haven't made an impression, or say a flyer, the good thing about a hook and your image is that you need to know within moments whether that person is a potential customer or not, right? Or for you, how would you like to spend 45 minutes with somebody talking about your product and try and get there and you're like, oh, I don't have a business. You've now spent 45 minutes speaking with them, talking with them, hoping to, you know, get a sale, a referral, or something sort of thing. Yeah. They're not even in the market. My job, the way I look at it with my psychology background, is when I'm designing something, it's like, who is the target market how do I reach them? Because I want to know in a split second, if I hand somebody a flyer and say, here, they look at it and go, I'm not your client. All right, thanks. You've saved me a whole lot of time instead of me going, gosh, so let me tell you about this product I have. You know, it's really, really great, and it'll save you time at home, and it'll do all this, and you know, get your car faster, whatever. And you're like, I would like.
Yeah.
You know, why would I do that? You know, my goal as marketing and branding and consistency is to send that message so you can rule in or rule out a person as a customer right away. Good? How we doing? Are we having fun?
Yeah.
That was a missing piece, it's fun. Hopefully we're having fun. All right. So, this is a little introspective time. You know, I wasn't sure how long this was going to go. You know, oh good, we're about a half-hour-ish. So, this is what I would offer as a suggestion for your homework. To be thinking about your marketing pieces, you know. And for some people, you know, I almost put in there, it's not for the faint of heart to do. It's totally optional. I'm not going to throw anybody on the, you know, under the bus for doing it or not doing it. But it's something that I would really recommend. You know, it's back to that consistency of message. What I describe effective marketing pieces as is if you could take 5 people's marketing materials, put them all on a table, mix them all up, and have somebody who knows nothing about your company divide them into piles. Consistency. If the fonts look the same, if the border's the same.
You can take my 5 flyers and see if they
Okay.
they get together.
And for some people, it's a really, really difficult thing to do. You know, they're not willing to look at it. You know, so what I'll hear is, I really like this card. Well, why are you still handing them out, Art? So I said I might pick on Art. So Art was really, I was appreciative. Art came up to me and he says, see, I have, you know, my business cards, you know, I'm using these business cards. I helped Art and I designed a new logo for him for Friends of Business Network. And for a number of months, I'll just say it was months. I know, it's a beautiful card. So for a number of months, he had his business cards, but at his events, he had his old name tags that had the old logo on it. And what I heard him say is, I have lots of these. When these are all used up, I'll fix them. So what I would recommend based on what we've talked about, the branding, the marketing, the consistency of message, is what message are you selling, is throw them away. They're doing you more harm than good. They're really doing you more harm than good. So the business card test, if anybody is willing to do that, I think it's a huge one. I think it's a commonly missed piece. And what I'd suggest you do, and if you're brave enough and want to do that, maybe, you know, afterwards if you want to. But what I really suggest you do is you hand your business card to somebody else. And then without telling them, ask them, what is it you think I do? Most business cards that I see, they're digits. Contact information. That's it. Oftentimes no consistency to what they're doing, you know, in other pieces, but it's merely digits. But it doesn't say who you are, it doesn't give a flair for how you do things, it doesn't have a call to action. It could be, you know, no attorneys in the room? Well, I just use that as a, it could be, you know, Anderson's Law. Great. Here's my address, here's my phone number. Excellent. Yeah. Family, child? Do you marriage? Do you do, you know, bankruptcies? How do I refer you? How do I know what you do? Printing. 99% of anyone you go to, the cost for printing the second side, in most cases, is minuscule. You have a lot of room on the back. You can share a message. Gloss versus non-gloss cards. I mean, I can go on and on with the design stuff, but you get the idea. A gloss card, can you write on it with a pen?
No, that's why I don't like gloss ones.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, how can you design something? How can you create your image? How can you share with people who you are, what you do, in a short period of time and make it easy on them and then want to help you. I mean, my cards, I have a lot of information on here. But I've got told time and time again is, there's a lot of information on there, but it's not busy. But I can see what you do. They flip it over, they see my tagline. I don't care if you did it yourself, as long as it doesn't look like you did it yourself. And there's space to write a note. Where did they meet me? What do they want to talk to me about? What do they want to do? Why do you fill it up so dark that they can't write it on? You know, how many people take notes at these things? How many times have you had to write on another piece of paper because like I want to follow up with? When you could make it easy for somebody to do just that. So the business card test, if you're willing to do it afterwards, hand somebody a business card. Say, what is it you think I do? And then see. The challenge with that is to be an open, active listener, not defensive. If you get defensive, then you shut down and you haven't let any information in. And this person is giving you a gift that says, I don't know you from Adam, and here's what I think you do. And then you can go, wow, that's really close, or let me educate you. Maybe I need to be more clear on my next set of cards. So with anything, there's lots of different ways to get to the top of the mountain. You know, whether it's marketing, whoever it is, whoever you're using, whoever you want to use, whoever, you know, some people it's like, I have a cousin that does logos, you know, I'm gonna have him do my logo.
Or website.
Or website. We, you know, us in the, yeah, in the graphic side have heard, you know, quite a few interesting stories. But it comes down to, you know, we do business with people we like, trust, and respect, right? So what I'm suggesting is you find somebody, you know, that will, one, listen to your needs, and two, as I say, ignore them when needed. I tell my clients all the time, I don't give my clients what they ask for. I give them what they need. Because they're coming to me as an expert in my field. And if I roll over and play dead and say, sure, I'll do that for you, am I doing them a service or a disservice? If I have a different perspective on it that I think might help them, I'm doing a disservice. And if they're now not getting any results based on what I presented to them, then what value is it? You know, Lee shared, Wednesday, 2 days ago, we handed out cards, different cards than were handed out the week before. Totally different response. I'm excited to hear that. Which means that somebody saw it, recognized that it's something for them, or not, and threw it away or whatever. But somebody said, hey, yeah, I want to check that out. And there was enough information on there to say, I'm willing to go do that. Good? All right, just a couple more things. And I was going to say, you know, how about some more questions? Yes, Lee.
Can you talk a little bit more about the way you come up with calls for action to get the from the piece that you're working on to help the client come up with that call to action?
Sure, yeah, so very simply, you need to find a hook. You know, what is it you're, generally in marketing and advertising, you're looking for somebody with a problem and you have a solution for that problem. So it could be, you know, the picture thing. You know, I hate having my picture taken, I look horrible. Well, I could take care of that. Here, check my website out. I have 12 examples and testimonials from people that say they hated having their picture taken and now look what's happened. You know, hopefully you have testimonials on your website. You know, if not, go get some more, you know, sort of thing. It's what is the need? So for me, with my psychology side, is I stop and I listen to the client. I'm like, what is their need? Who are they trying to reach? You know, moms after, you know, soccer moms on Fridays after whatever. Okay, whatever their need is, you've got to hit that person so that they can rule them in or rule them out. I mean, that's probably one of the biggest easy things that I can say is you're either ruling in somebody as a customer or you're ruling them out. So if you know who your customer is, if you can be more targeted on who your ask is for. You would ask for small businesses, right.
Right, the business plans, increase revenue.
Right, so what you might do as a hook, if you're in a networking group, is instead of saying, I'm looking for small businesses that do this, 1 week you may be I'm looking for nonprofits that have, are locally based in San Diego. What nonprofits do you give to that might be struggling that I can help? So that person can now say, I know a nonprofit, I work with, PAWS, or I work, Pets Are Wonderful Sport, or I work with, the military one, So they now have in their mind somebody that they know that works at or that they are associated with. Now, if they know, like, and trust the person, at that organization, and they now have gathered what you do and who you are, and they get a good sense of you, they're much more likely to connect those dots. But if you say anybody, breathing, anybody that, it's kind of tough, The more specific you can ask, again, like I said, the owner of IBM, or the sales manager for Sony Pictures in San Diego, for this gentleman, right? You may or may not know that person, and that's okay. But somebody's going to, oh, I know somebody that works at Sony Pictures, they're in the mailroom. Well, can you help me get up the chain too? Now there's a tangible that they can grab onto and say, oh, yeah, I know somebody in that arena. Yes?
And how do you separate yourself from the competition? Like, what if you're in something like really boring, like insurance?
Right.
And you want to try to be able to separate yourself from the rest of the crowd. What do you do?
Right. Right. So there's, yeah, they're what?
Ice cream.
There you go. Yeah, I know. Right. Yeah.
I don't like ice cream.
Right. So you find a way that that is different. You'll find real estate agents have the same problem. If you're an insurance person, it's like, what is it you do? What I would suggest that you do is you tell stories. One of the things, we'll talk social media for a sec, on that topic. What I see a lot of people doing is, instead they'll say, hey, I have DVDs on sale, come buy mine today. Or the insurance thing, it's like, come buy my insurance, I have great rates, best in town, happy to help with you, work with you friendly, all that. Okay, so that's how a lot of people would approach it. That's not to me, that's not a successful way to do it. Because immediately, how do you like being sold to? Hi, I've got this thing, you need to come buy it. I'm knocking on your door.
Right. They need to help me buy what I need.
Right.
I don't want to be sold to.
Exactly, right. So if they painted a picture on their Facebook stream that says, wow, so excited, I just helped another family save $800 on their insurance this year. I feel blessed in my job. You're not selling them anything. You're telling them that your abilities helped somebody else. Like, how great is that? That feels great as the sales, as the person that provides that service. And also, then other people that know you and like you go, oh, I didn't know he sold insurance. And he helps families? Wow, oh, so he does homeowners insurance. Cool. They may not have known that out of 20 times you selling them ice cream. Right?
Yeah.
Who else?
Well, for my business, the packing, so I don't know if I'm stuck or if because I'm not getting I'm not getting much traffic of calls.
Okay.
So, and I have my own website.
Right.
The church is gonna advertise for me.
Okay.
For the month of May. I'm sending out, like, if I'm meeting someone, and I send out the follow-up invite letter that I have that I wrote up. Okay. Just to keep them, and I'm just verbally networking and sending out my cards and sending out this and that. So I don't know what should I do.
So
as far as my brand, and I like my logo. I like everything else.
Right. So.
Target market should be set down there. Target market.
Yeah,
Go after those groups.
That's real estate and seniors.
Right.
So is that where you're networking?
Yeah, and I tell them I'm a social worker by profession, which is true. So if they have 80+ seniors who are kind of, confused and kind of slow about making a decision, I can all so make free assessments to make sure they can make the
So
decision.
here's my offering, and like I said, I sat next to you. We talked earlier. I sat next to you at one of the previous things, and I have seen your business card and things like that. And so I want to caution because I don't want to
Tell me.
Okay. So to me, here's what I've experienced of you.
Yes.
Is I do this and this and